Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So we are visiting the Stranger Things experience today in Toronto off of Cherry Street, and there is no filming allowed inside of here. There are videos of walkthroughs in Los Angeles, but there is no filming in Toronto. So I'm gonna walk you through it. I sat on the fence about buying these tickets simply because I'm just switching gears in life and I don't have the extra funds necessarily. So not really knowing what to expect out of this, I decided, okay, at the last minute, let's go ahead, let's book those tickets. We went on a Wednesday night, and I did not upgrade to the VIP experience, which I think gave you like some kind of merchandise. So for the three of us with two people under the age of 17, it was $166 to visit this experience. And that's in Canadian. So that was a Wednesday night. I didn't get the VIP upgrade, and that was just a basic ticket to get through. So it seems a bit steep, but also considering that Toronto is all about paid parking, I knew that I was going to have to pay for parking once I'm down there. On the Fever app, you can go ahead and pre-pay for your parking. Knowing where this location was at the Netflix studios, there's not a lot of parking around that area. So I went ahead, prepaid for the parking, and we went ahead and went down. The only real thing that I knew about this experience was that it was kind of like an escape room. So not knowing exactly what to expect, I didn't watch any of the YouTube videos before going on in, and I think that's exactly sort of what it was. It wasn't really an escape room because, I mean, I don't think it mattered if you did the right things or the wrong things. What was going to happen was going to happen anyway. So after buying my tickets online, I ended up getting an email that told me that there was no video recording, no voice recording of any kind, and no professional cameras. So I have a pretty tiny little camera, and I didn't consider it necessarily a professional camera, so I thought, oh, I'll take that with me. I left the tripod at home, and I just carried the camera, but when I got to the door, it was an absolute no. I had to put it away, which totally fine, respect the rules. But anything with a zoom on it is considered professional, so good to know before you head on in. No recording while you're in the actual experience. You can record outside of the experience and also once you get into the bar area. Once you pass through the entryway here, past this Hawkins sign where you can get a little photo op, we were led into three different color groups. We were given wristbands with our color on it. We were red. We happened to get right up front in our group, which was spectacular because they had these people in lab coats walking around, and one girl was really into her role. She came along with a clipboard and she started asking us in the front of our group, you know, what was our sleep schedule like? The whole premise of this experience is that you are going through for a sleep study. So she asked us if we'd ever done a sleep study before, you know, how our sleep was, what we rated it like, and then she asked us whether or not we gardened and whether we were seeing our things grow in the garden. So I guess there's some soil contamination and everything in Hawkins. People are experiencing sleeplessness and lack of growth in the plants. So contamination, basically. We had a lot of fun playing along with that, and she was pretty awesome. She kept a straight face. We were just beaming and kind of laughing at our answers and, you know, going through. My boys were participating. It was a lot of fun. So standing in that group, we ended up on the video monitor just off to the side. There was a couple video monitors around. We ended up seeing a video regarding our sleep study and what we were to expect. So once that video was over, the doors opened in front of us and we were led with our color group into the next room, which was a kind of wood paneled office space. There was a girl up at the podium. She was excellent. She had a microphone on and there was a screen just behind her. She went on about what we were going to expect and kind of the various poses that each of us would need to use. And so 11 ended up coming through on the screens behind, kind of in an interruption, and she narrated sort of what we needed to do, and there was kind of this back and forth between the girl at the podium and 11. Next, we were escorted into the Rainbow Room, and in this room there were colored tables set up with puzzles on them. We were directed to go to our area, and then we had a lab technician tell us to go ahead and try to complete those puzzles. Now, I don't know, our puzzle was just a bunch of wooden blocks in front of us, and I don't know if it actually did have a completion. They didn't give us a ton of time, but then of course they ended up picking out one person from each color to be the sort of group leader. We had a little girl in our group that was chosen, and we were instructed to go ahead and try to use these powers based on our colors. So this was a lot of fun. They had things set up in this room where, you know, you're supposed to stand and with your power concentrate, and the cans would crumple and everything would sort of move around. So of course our group was spectacular, and we had a ton of power. So behind our two-way mirror that was also in this room, we saw Papa, and we were instructed that, wow, you know, we're incredible. And of course we're kind of lab rats at that point. There was one section where spiders were created on the wall. They had talked about spiders in your dreams, whether or not you remember your dreams, and dream in color and that kind of thing, and the spiders were a big thing, whether or not you remember all of your dreams about spiders. And then of course people with their minds, they conjured up the spiders on the wall. So that was a lot of fun. So being the most gifted group, we ended up into another room, and all of the hallways were themed as well. They had the tiles for the hospital, and it was pretty well done. So we ended up in this room where there was venting up along the top, and they had sort of a light shining through those vents, and you could hear people walking in there, and it was Dustin and Erica, and they had come to sort of find us and instruct us of how to break out of this room. We needed to go and help 11 and Max and sort of create this narrative that we needed to move along. So again, our team leaders, they ended up working for us and getting us out of that room. We had to press buttons, and they instructed us to put all of our benches up against the door, which I thought, what a terrible job to have to move all those benches after every group goes through. But I mean, they did it. So it was pretty fun. Everybody worked together and everybody was into it. So off we went into the next room. So I think the next room was actually my favorite. I think it was the boys' favorite as well. They had these frosted glass windows around, and there was security footage that was playing on the TVs in front of us. And of course, you know, we saw the demi-dogs. They were running around through the building, and they were attacking rooms and attacking people. And so with that frosted glass, it had the same effect that if you've ever been to Universal Studios and you've done the train that goes back and forth between the two parks, you have that frosted glass and you can see people going by. Well, the demi-dogs, we could see them sort of trying to break in. The glass would appear to be cracking. There was blood splatter. There was, you know, people being attacked. It was pretty spectacular. So I think that was the most fun that we had while we were in there, and it was definitely the neatest. At this point, we were given 3D glasses and a porthole was revealed. We ended up having to walk through there. It was basically just lined with plastic, and we went into a big room where there was a curved sort of 3D screen, and on there was Max. There was rocks out in front, so it was sort of tried to make it look realistic. Max ended up coming out, and with our 3D glasses on, we saw the demi-dogs in the background. 11 ended up as an actor coming out, and then she sort of interacted with Max, and then of course ended up on the screen. So that was pretty cool as well. It was very well done. The 3D glasses were spectacular. That was a lot of fun, and we all used our powers to work together because again, we were the most spectacular group and had all of these powers. So we ended up helping to freeze the dogs and get them sorted out. Vecna ended up coming out, and I can see if you have small children that are a little bit afraid but enjoyed the show, it might be a bit scary for them. As an adult, there was nothing frightening about it whatsoever, but it was a really neat experience. So after that, we ended up exiting there. We ended up into the bar area where there was Surfer Boy Pizza, as well as Scoops Ahoy, a bar that you could go to the upside, and yeah, just wander around and mingle. Everything was 80s themed. They had little merchandise shops set up, so all in all, it was pretty cool. So everything said, it was a lot of fun. We did really enjoy ourselves. Was it worth $166 for the three of us? Probably not, but you know, it was a night out and we had a lot of fun. We did enjoy the experience. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. You can't meander through it at your own pace. You definitely have to stay with your group. You work together as a team, and things happen and you move on to the next scene and scenario. I've never actually done an escape room, so but from what I understand, you actually have to participate and find the things in the room in order for certain things to happen. This was not the case, I don't think, in this scenario. I think that whether or not you performed your task or not, I'm assuming that it wouldn't have mattered, but I don't know for sure. We were obviously spectacular, so I hope that if you decide to visit, you have a blast. Definitely dress in your 80s attire. There was some people channeling their inner Dustin. I saw some Max. That was definitely, I think, the highlight of the entire thing. So if you're gonna go, get your Hellfire t-shirts on and just have a good time. And with that being said, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little review of the Stranger Things experience in Toronto. If you have been to see it, let me know down in the comments below whether or not you enjoyed it and if you thought it was worth the price that you paid. And we'll see you guys all in the next video. Thanks a lot for coming along.